Good morning, my viewers, the parents, the teachers, and students as well. It's another Saturday for Easy Numbers, and I want us to look at more of these numbers. I aim to make you a mathematics genius by the time you leave your school. Last weekend, I was talking about numbers between 100 and 1000, provided that the center digit is a 0. Numbers like 5 or 3, multiply this by 4 or 6. And in this example, I said that you multiply left, multiply right, and then cross multiply the center to get the answer. So the left of this number is 5 times 4, which is 20. And the right of this number is 3 times 6, which is 18. So once you have the beginning and the ending, all you do is to look for the center, which is blank. Now the center here, you cross multiply 4 by 3, which is 12, plus 6 times 5, which is 30. So you are saying 12 plus 30 is 42. And you put 42 in the center, and that is the answer of that, is 20, 42, 18. Another example will be 7 or 5 times 6 or 3. You multiply left, multiply right. So the left 6 times 7 is 42, and the right 3 times 5, which is 15. So the answer begins by 42 and ends by 15. The center, you cross multiply. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 3 times 7 is 21. So you are saying 30 plus 21 is 51. You put that 51 in the center, and that is your answer as 425,000. So all numbers between 100 and 1000, provided the center digit is 0, can be multiplied mentally. And now, let us go a little further and deal with this number that begins by 1 and ends by 1, and the center digits are 0. This time we are squaring. Say 101 squared. This number here can be extended to 1001 squared. The same number can be extended to 10001 squared. And you can go on and on and on. And these numbers may seem a bit difficult to square, and yet they are so simple to square. This is how you do it. Assume that these numbers don't have zeros in between, and so you have this number 11 squared. Assuming that you remove all the zeros, you are left with 1, 1, which is 11. So all you need is to master the square of 11. And the square of 11, which I'm going to show you later how to easily square again, numbers composed of ones only. But the square of 11, just know that it is 121. This number 121, once you know it, it will square all numbers between any number, provided that it begins by 1, it ends by 1, and the centers are 0. This is the trick. Assume there are no zeros in the center and remain with 11 and square 11. Then you get 121. After that, sandwich the 2 in the center by as many zeros as the number of zeros in the 101 you are dealing with. Now let's go. Even grade 1 children can square this number. And yet it bothers even bigger teachers, even graduates, to square, simply because they do not know the behavior of numbers. Now let's look at 101 squared. Assume there is no 0. You are squaring 11. You come to the answer 121. You see, I'm now spacing my 121 as 1, 2, 1. Once you have gotten that, that is the square of 11. Now, because you are not squaring 11, you are squaring 101, which has 1 0 in the center. Sandwich the 2 in the center of 121 by an equal number of zeros. Put 1 0 on this side and put another 0 on this side, so that 2 is sandwiched in the center. And now the square of 101 is 10,201, which is 10,201. If you keep doing this, you will square bigger numbers at lightning speed. Your own teacher will be scared at the way you are rattling numbers. Now let's go again to another number. Same composition. This is now 1001. It has 2 zeros. Assume there are no 2 zeros and go for only the square of 11, which will be 121. Just to see how I'm spacing my 121. After that, sandwich the 2 in the center by as many zeros as the number of zeros in the number you are squaring. So 1001 has 2 zeros. So sandwich the 2 in the center. On the left of that 2, put 2 zeros. On the right of that 2, put 2 zeros. And then when you punctuate this number, you find it is 1,002,001. And even a grade 1 child will do this. It's called playing with numbers. You see, the brain likes something that tickles it. The moment you have something that can tickle your brain, then you will master that thing. This is the secret underlying children narrating a whole film, how it was, and yet they went into the film room or onto the TV without pen and paper to take notes of that film. But why do they remember every character? Why do they remember what happened at this stage and this stage? The answer is simple. The brain likes something that tickles it. Because the movie is so interesting, the brain is tickled, and therefore you remember almost every character and what he did at what stage. No pen, no paper. This is the secret teachers should have, that each time they are teaching, they must tickle the brains of the children. And once the brains are tickled, the child won't forget anything that was given. The child will remember almost everything. So let's move a little further. We are now going to square 10,001. 10,001, the answer is mental. The answer begins by 1, followed by 3 zeros, then a 2, followed by 3 zeros, then a 1. So, why do I say that? Ignore the zeros in the center and assume you are just squaring 11. At this point, go for the square of 11 and you will find it is 121. So it's 121. And you see the way I'm spacing it. This is to allow the sandwiching of the two by the zeros in the number. So 10,001 has 3 zeros in the center. So you bring 3 zeros on the left of 2, 1, 2, 3, and then you bring 3 zeros on the right of 2, 1, 2, 3, and then when you punctuate this one, you will find something like 100,020,001. And any child can do this mentally. So that in future, you are doing your mathematics and someone tells you that Mary has a square piece of land and the measurements are 1001 meters and 1001 meters. Calculate the area of Mary's square piece of land. And the untrained will go struggling in multiplying this thing, and especially when zeros are in the center of a number, they become so cumbersome to handle. But the trained person knows that when I am dealing with a number that begins by 1, ends by 1, and the center is zeros, it doesn't matter how many they are, I will simply ignore the zeros in the center. Then I remain with 11. I will square 11 and get 121. Once I've gotten 121, I'll go back to the number I'm dealing with. How many zeros does it have? It has 2 zeros. Therefore, those are the zeros that I will sandwich 2 with. On the left of 2, I'll put 2 zeros. On the right of 2, I'll put 2 zeros. And then my answer is going to be 1,002,001. And this will be meters squared, and I'll have no problem at all doing my mathematics. In fact, I will not say I am doing mathematics. I will say I'm enjoying my mathematics. I am playing the game of numbers. Numbers are so friendly if you understand their behavior. And because now I'm talking about an 11, let us go and square the numbers composed of ones only. Now, this time we don't have zeros in the center. They are just numbers 1, 1, 1, 1, following each other. And again, somebody might think that that is a very difficult thing to do, and yet it is a very, very simple thing to do. So, I will write these squares here. 11 squared, 111 squared, 1,111 squared, or 11,111 squared, and so on. Now, squaring these numbers are very simple. Now, don't teach a child mathematics. Teach a child what a child sees at home. This child at home sees a ladder in this form. At their home, there is a ladder that looks like this. This ladder here is used for building houses. You put it there and start climbing up until you reach to where you want. Now look at this one here. This is stair 1, this is stair 2, stair 3, this is stair 4. The ladder can be even longer. This is stair 5, and that is stair 6, and so on. So when you want to go and fix something on the roof of the house, you use this ladder, and it is a 5-stair ladder. So you simply climb up to stair 5, do your business, and then come back to where you began. Let us see what happens when you are squaring numbers composed of ones. Each one in the number is a stair on the ladder. So if you were to square 11, you will treat it as a ladder that has only 2 stairs. And therefore, you will be climbing stair 1 and then stair 2. And then you do your business at stair 2, and then when you are finished, you want to go back, you now go down to stair 1 and go home. So the square of 11 is 121, as I've told you. Well, let's look at the number 111. This is a number with 3 ones. That means it's a ladder with 3 stairs. And if you are going to use this ladder, you're forced to climb stair 1, stair 2, stair 3. Stair 1, stair 2, stair 3. Then you will do your business, and when you are finished and you want to go away, since you are on stair 3, you will simply go back on stair 2 and then stair 1 and find that the square of 111 is 12,321. And the child will enjoy climbing stairs up and down. Go to the highest stair and then come down to the lowest stair. This you see in some places where children go for picnics or to play. There are such stairs. They climb up and climb down, and they want to compete who will reach up and down faster than the other. Little do they know that they are squaring numbers composed of ones. Let's look at a number like 1,111. It has 4 ones in it, and that means this is a ladder of 4 stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you are going to square this number, you will behave as if you are climbing up and down a ladder of 4 stairs. So you will rise to stair 4 and then drop down to stair 1. And so the answer will look like 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 1. And then when you punctuate this one here, in mathematics that number will be called 1,234,321. How easy are these numbers? These numbers are so easy to square. So don't struggle with squaring numbers composed of ones only. And if you find there is a problem, then you will take my book, The Master of Numbers, in which I describe the behavior of numbers. And this is not a book of any grade. It's a book for those people, whether you are in grade 1 or you are doing university. For as long as you are not a master of numbers, this small book will train you very well. And once you are a master of numbers, then you will start doing any mathematics, because mathematics is only nothing but numbers. And you will be computing them by using the signs plus, minus, multiplication, and division. These little books, the Master of Numbers, will train you to be a number wizard. So that even when your own teachers see you and they are not trained on this, they will always want to run away from you. Because you already have the answer long before he reaches half of the calculation. So suppose somebody asked me to square a number that has 6 ones. In mathematics, that number is read as 111,111. So you come up and ask me, what is the square of 111,111? In my mind, I see a ladder of 6 stairs, because that number has 6 ones. And so I'll tell you, the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and read it yourself. I've given you the answer as far as I'm concerned. And then when he says, no, I want you to give me the square of 11,111. Then I look at that number and see it has 5 ones. And my job is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the square. Go ahead and read it yourself. I've given you the answer. You see, when you are doing mathematics on the calculator, it only gives you numbers. It doesn't read for you. So if I'm behaving like a calculator, I'll only give you numbers. It's up to you to read and see what it is, because you are dealing with a calculator. Now, I want to caution you that this pattern stops only at a number with 9 digits. And I repeat that. This pattern stops at a number with 9 digits. And in your lifetime, you might leave the university before anybody asked you for the square of 111,111,111. Nobody is going to ask you that. But forewarned is forearmed. I'm arming you with the great wisdom of numbers. That 111,111,111 is a number with 9 digits. It has 9 ones in it. And therefore, you are then going to have the answer as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And many of us can read that number. Let me write this number on the board. Many of us will not be able to read this number. The square of 111,111,111 squared. Somebody will need the whole of this board to calculate that and probably again fail. But the trained child who knows the behavior of one will just see a ladder with 9 stairs. And therefore, he will be climbing stair 1, stair 2, stair 3, stair 4, stair 5, stair 6, stair 7, stair 8, stair 9. That's the highest stair he can go. And so he goes back again to where he came from by going to stair 8, stair 7, stair 6, stair 5, stair 4, stair 3, stair 2, stair 1. And this is a huge number. If we sector it in 333, that's how numbers are sectored, and call this sector 1 on the left, sector 2, then sector 3, sector 4, sector 5, and finally sector 6. This number has advanced to 6 sectors. And in those books, the Master of Numbers, I show you how to read this number, so that you are not just writing numbers that you can't read, you are writing numbers that you can read. A sector 6 is a quadrillion. It is 12 quadrillion 345 trillion 678 billion 987 million 654,321. Nobody is going to ask you to read that number, but I'm just telling you that in that small book you will be taught how to read these numbers, so that you are a master of numbers. And why must you be a master of numbers? The answer is so simple. Wherever you go in this world, you will be doing mathematics, whether you are a vegetable seller or a mandasi baker or an engineer, an architecture, or a lawyer, or a doctor. Anything that you will be faced with dealing with the numbers. And you cannot deal with what you don't know. You must be familiar with what you know. So, in book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4 of the Master of Numbers, we will train you how these numbers behave at every single stage. And once you have known that, then you will then be able to work out things like these ones here. If a car is going for 1,111,000, how much will the same number of cars cost? Or let us reduce the number. How much will be 1,111 cars cost? And then you are told the computation sign will be multiplication. A car is going for 1,111,000. A car dealer sold in 1 year 1,111 cars. How much money did he realize from the sale of the cars? And as you read my books, you will know the 3 categories of numbers. That there are plain numbers. 1,111 is a plain number. And then there are numbers that end in zeros. 1,111,000 is a number that ends in zeros. So if you are dealing with numbers that have zeros at the end, set the zeros aside, deal only with plain numbers. So your problem is just going to be 4 ones squared. These are 4, these are 4. And you think of the ladder, which is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the answer of 1,111 squared. Once you reach there, you just return the zeros you had set aside, and there were only 3. 1, 2, 3. And then this is the time you can now punctuate this, and this is sector 4. Sector 4 is in billions. 1,234,321,000. That's the money that was realized from the sale of those cars. Mathematics is about numbers, and what one wants you to do with the numbers is said by words. So all you do is to exfoliate the words in the problem and remain with the naked numbers and crush them. So you should have no problem. Now I want every child in these homes to be a master of numbers, because the future is about numbers. It does not matter what problem you are doing. It could be a simultaneous problem. It could be a quadratic problem. It could be finding surface area of cones and so on and so on. Name it. It could be paying salaries to workers as a cashier. Whatever it is, it will be numbers. So if you are not a master of numbers, you will have a problem in your career. And that's why I say those small books will contain something about numbers that you need to know. And why are they so small? I was told by a psychologist that children want to deal with smaller things than bigger things. So buying for a child a big encyclopedia like this beats the child on the onset. The child is psychologically beaten before he starts. Oh, this is too big. Can somebody read this and finish? Yeah? But when you show a child a small thing with big knowledge in it, the child says, this one I'll crush in 2 days. And he embarks on it, and indeed in 2 days, this child is now a master of numbers. So train children to have small, big knowledge. Where I come from, where I'm born, there's a saying in Kiwanga, Olubucha luchinganga shaluera nasho. For those who don't understand what I'm saying, that there's that very, very small insect. They normally move in a long line. And when they reach somewhere where there's their food, they pick just that small, something its size. They don't pick a bigger thing. And so children will want to pick what is equivalent to them. But you see, that's just a child. The mind of a child is equal to the mind of an adult. It's a computer. Garbage in, garbage out. What you put in the child's mind is what the child gives you. So put the big knowledge in the small book in the mind of a child. That child will give you the results you need. Because mathematics is just words covering numbers. So all you need is to exfoliate the words, put the words aside, remain with the naked numbers, and deal with them. That is my advice. So parents, after we have mastered numbers, there are a few other things we need to do. There is the actual course books. These course books are available in bookshops. But to supplement that, I have very powerful books. For primary knowledge, I have CBC Mathematics Revision. So well revised that a child who looks at that will not fail his mathematics. And it goes topic by topic. It tests on every concept. So you have a child in primary, make sure that child has the CBC Primary Mathematics Revision. And this book will carry this child up to what they are calling grade 9. I don't know, it was the former Form 1, but grade 9. It covers the child so well. A partner to that book is this book I call the 21st Century Mathematics Formula. This book has all the formula that is required for primary mathematics. And you see, no formula, no mathematics. Because there are some problems, however good you may be, like me, if you don't have the formula, you will still fail that problem. So make sure your child has the mathematics, 21st century mathematics formula. That is for primary. Now let me come to high school. High school offers a challenge to children who are doing mathematics. Very few children score A's at high school in mathematics. And this is because they do not know how to study mathematics. So I have what I call mathematics notes for high school. And each class has its separate book. The mathematics notes for Form 1, mathematics notes for Form 2, mathematics notes for Form 3, mathematics notes for Form 4. Now, if there is no Form 1 today, replace it with grade 9. Mathematics notes for grade 9. If a child studies those at his level, he's in Form 1 or grade 9, he needs the notes for grade 9. He's in Form 2, he needs the notes for Form 2. He's in Form 3, he needs the notes for Form 3. And he's in Form 4, he needs the notes for Form 4. That is equipping your child. And because many schools don't have those notes, I recommend that you can access the 4 books for your child, even if he is at Form 4. Within 3 months of his reading these notes, he will change his mathematics score like day and night. So those notes are extremely important for high school. And then, along with that, there is the high school mathematics formula. As I said, you do not pass your mathematics if you don't have the formula. So a formula for high school is just one book, and it will cover all the classes. Grade 9, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4 is just one book. You need to secure that. And I'm addressing parents because children don't buy books. And some parents think that the course books are enough. Let me tell you, the clever person is a person who has different opinions, varieties of opinions, so that when this one opinion doesn't work, this one works. That's why in medicine there's something called a second opinion. That when one doctor diagnoses you for cancer, then you don't just get satisfied that I have cancer. Go to the second doctor for second opinion. Then, once the two concur, then you say, I have cancer. So in education, you be widely read. Don't limit your reading. And that's why I'm saying these books are not course books, but they have wider knowledge than what a course book may have. Please secure them, parents, for your children. Then, something I want to start talking about is the media of communication in mathematics. All our mathematics is communicated in the English language. A child who is so below in English language may find it difficult to understand the mathematics problems. That's why I recommend again, every parent should have the English notes for high school. And those notes can be even used in primary. Build a strong foundation of the English language so that you can understand the language so well, so that the vocabulary that is being used, the adjectives and so on, will help you tackle your mathematics and at the same time help you pass your English language. That is the purpose for West TV, to educate. And we must tell you what you require. You require to be master of the language of communication, that is English. Then you can crush your mathematics. Then history is written in English. You can pass your English, your history. Then geography is in English. You can pass your geography. Then all sciences are in English. You can pass your sciences. This book, the English notes, is so important because it will assist you across board in understanding the subjects that are taught at school. So parents, you need to know that. Finally, I want to talk about the careers of children. We are not educating children to sit there. Every child has his calling, has what he is supposed to do as he drops into this universe. So depending on which date your child was born, there are careers that are destined for the child. And those can be found in the small book, The Universe and Man. It's a book that should be in your library. This same book will help you advise your children on their careers, put them in the right careers. But apart from that, the book will help the adults in their day-to-day activities. You want to start a new business. Which is the right timing for you to start the business so that it just picks off like that and will make you a success. And when I mean business, I don't just mean trading only. There are so many businesses. You want to enter into the business of marriage, it will advise you the right timings for marriage. You want to enter into the business of farming, that book will advise you the right timings for farming. It will go ahead and advise you what you should buy the livestock if you want, when do you buy the livestock, and so on. So get that small book, The Universe and Man, along with the books that I've told you. And don't look for it in the bookshop, it's not there. Instead, pick your phone and call me on telephone number 0721 901 429. Telephone number 0721 901 429. Call me as soon as I leave the studio, and we shall tell you how to secure those important books for the education of your children and for your own success and the careers of your children. Until next weekend, it's bye-bye from Dr. Kunda.